Hi, my name is Sue. I'm a yoga teacher at the Power Yoga Company, and today I'm going to talk through Bakasana, known as crow posture or crane. Bakasana is one of the arm balancing postures. It's seen as possibly one of the easiest arm balancing postures that a yogi can start out with. And once you kind of get the grasp of Bakasana, it can take you on to some of the more challenging arm balancing postures. And once you get the principles of how you get into Bakasana and what you need to do in terms of using your bandhas, using your core strength, then the other arm balancing postures will seem much easier. In terms of the benefits of Bakasana, so it is great in terms of flexibility of your spine. It really strengthens your wrists and your upper arms especially. So it's a really good a strength and core building posture. In terms of some of the benefits that Bakasana brings to you, it really helps you focus your mind. When doing Bakasana, you really have to focus your drishti on one point, looking forward. So it really helps to focus your mind, your concentration, your balance. And it's also a very fun posture to do. I think some students get quite scared and fearful of Bakasana because they think they're going to land on their head because you're putting your weight on your hands and you're pushing your body forward. So some people fear that they're going to just plonk onto their head. But once you get over that initial fear, Bakasana is a really fun posture to play with, and it can lead on to other things. So you can go into a tripod headstand, or you can jump back to chaturanga. So it opens up a whole world of other amazing postures that you can do. So we'll get into Bakasana and how you can get it. Some of the postures that can lead you into Bakasana. So I like to start in downward dog. Come to your downward dog. And then inhale, jump forward, and this time jump just behind your wrist, bring your feet behind your wrist, hip width or slightly wider than hip width apart, and then just come back down to your malasana, your squat pose. Bring your arms inside of your knees, resting your arms against your kind of thighs or the insides of your knees, and then bringing your hands in Andre Mudra at your heart center. And bringing the gaze forward, so your drishti is forward, and just taking a few inhales and exhales here. If you struggle to get your heels down in Malasana, it's good to use a blanket to give yourself a little bit more lift. Otherwise, you can just stay here. It's a really lovely hip opening posture to kind of get yourself into Bakasana. Okay, so then when you're going into Bakasana, you want to bring your hands out in front of you, palms facing down. And then what I like to do is kind of tiptoe my feet towards each other, so the toes are touching. And then bring your knees out to the side. And then the best way I find doing Bakasana, which some people initially might find challenging, is to try and get your knees kind of tucked into your armpits. If you're finding this challenging, you can bring them your arms a little bit lower, so your shins kind of resting on your upper arms. But yeah, I ideally try and get my knees right up, tucked into my armpits. And then what you want to do is very slowly, as I said before, you need to have patience with this posture. Very slowly, keeping your gaze forward. So try not to bring your head back too far because you're going to hurt your neck. But just keep the gaze forward on the floor, looking forward, not down. If you go down, you're going to end up kind of plonking onto your head. But look forward. Again, if you're finding it challenging getting your knees up into your elbows, you can always use a block. So you can stand on a block to give yourself a bit more height. And then what you want to do, once you're in your position, is just try and bring your hips up so they're level with your shoulders. So you don't want your hips too high all the way like that. You want just to have them level with your shoulders. And then very slowly you want to lift one foot off and then come down. And then you can do the same on the other side, lifting the other foot off, and then come down. So just kind of playing with the posture to get a feel for kind of going forward and holding the weight on the back of your arms, basically. And then when you're feeling a little bit more confident, you want to bring the weight all the way forward, lifting both feet up. You want to try and have the heels as close to your bottom as possible, looking forward, toes touching, and try and keep your breath strong as you're in the posture. And then come down slowly, whenever you're ready. Almost kind of slit up there. So yeah, try and come down as slowly and gently as possible as going into it. And this time I'm going to explain a bit more about the bandhas, because the bandhas are extremely important in this posture. You should feel extremely light when you're going into your crow pose. And this is all about using your Uddiyana bandha, so kind of really hollowing out your stomach, pulling your navel in and up, and using that to create this lightness in terms of getting into Bakasana and being able to stay into Bakasana, and also then being able to jump back into Chaturanga or go into a tripod headstand, which I'm going to demonstrate now. So we're going to go back into our Bakasana. So again, knees up towards the armpits or kind of slightly lower down, resting on the upper arms. And then very slowly, looking forward, so keeping your gaze forward, lifting your feet up, having your heels towards your bottom, towards your hips, breathing here, feeling the lightness, and when you're ready, on an exhale, jumping back into your Chaturanga. Rolling up to your upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. And then jump back to your squat. Ooh. And now we're going to try Bakasana going into tripod, and then coming back down to Bakasana again, using your bandhas, creating this lightness will help you, again, using your core muscles, which is, important for all yoga poses, but really using the core to help you get up to a tripod headstand. So again, coming into your Bakasana, coming back a bit so I can put my head down, and then keeping the weight into the palms of the hands. So really try to keep the weight into the palms, spreading out the fingers. Ooh, and then slowly bringing the head down, and then lifting the legs up to your tripod. Staying here for a few breaths. And very slowly bring your legs back down, tucking your knees into your armpits, and then bring your toes together and slowly going back up to your crow, and then jumping back up for facing dog, and then down facing dog, and then jumping through to seated position. So there's so many things you can do with Bakasana. It's a really fun and challenging posture. As I said, I think students find it quite daunting to start off with, but once you get into it and once you really learn how to use the core strength and use that lightness, and it becomes such an easy and fun posture to do in your practice. And you can incorporate it into your practice wherever you like. So after your standing postures, in between standing and seating postures, it's a really adaptable and easy posture to fit in to your sequence. So thank you everyone for watching today, and good luck with your Bakasana. Thank you.